to Chris Cook for YouTube. Tonight I'm going to be doing pepper steak. Now this is a very simple recipe. I think that you really will enjoy it if you try it. So let's get started with the ingredients that you're going to need. First of all, you're going to need steak, of course. And this is just the beef stir-fry steak. It's just little bitty strips of steak. And what I'm going to do here is I'll probably cut this twice. There and there across the steak, which will give me 3 sections or 3 pieces, which will give me a lot more meat for my pepper steak. And I have 2 packages because you know I'm cooking for a lot, so this will give me quite a bit of meat. Then you're going to need soy sauce, brown gravy mix, cloves of garlic, ground ginger, onion, green pepper, and you should have red pepper, but my store didn't have any, so I'm using yellow pepper. But the better pepper to use and the sweeter pepper would be your red pepper. They didn't have any. So I'm going to go away, get everything cut up that I need to cut up, and then I'm going to meet you at the stove. The only other ingredient that you're going to add is a tablespoon of cooking oil, whether it be vegetable or olive oil, whichever one you choose to use, and that's just to brown the meat. And once we brown the meat, this is a real fast recipe, so I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm at the stove and I'm getting ready to cook my meal. I have my rice that's boiling in the back in a pot, and I am going to cook up my steak. But before I do that, you're going to mix up the liquid mixture that you're going to be adding to the pot. So that is, we're going to add two cups of water. I'm going to go ahead and add my brown gravy mix. To the brown gravy mix, I'm going to add my ginger, and I'm going to put the measurements at the bottom for you, and my soy sauce. Actually, it's 1 teaspoon of ginger and it's 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. And the reason why, it's so much is because I'm making over. Now, you're going to allow this to sit here after you've blended it together, just to sit here until you get to this step in making the pepper steak. So now that that's well blended, you want to make certain that it's well blended. Now that that is well blended, now I'm going to make my steak. In the pot, I already have about 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. To the cooking oil, I'm going to add my steak. Now I'm going to allow the steak to just cook up until it has browned, and that will take, I don't know, probably about 2 minutes. And I'm going to stir it. Now, once your steak, this is minute steak. So with minute steak, you don't have to cook it for a long period of time. It's really very short process. So you're going to cook this just until it browns on both sides. And then you're going to stir in your vegetables and your gravy mix. Now, at this point, I'm going to add my minced garlic. And this was 2 cloves of minced garlic. I'm just going to let this cook up, browning, on both sides. You want to cook your meat until it's tender. And you want to cook it until there is no pink. Now, for it to tender up, that's a short process when it's steak. Because steak is more tender the less amount of time you cook it. And then it gets tougher as you cook it longer and longer. So this is really going to be a short process. We just don't want pink in the steak. So I'm just going to turn my rice off, okay, and allow it to just cook up. So I'm going to stir this until all of it is no longer pink, and then I will bring you back. Now there's no need to add any seasonings. You can taste it at the end, see if you need any seasoning, but you shouldn't need any because your brown gravy mix is carrying seasonings. and you did, such as it should be enough salt in there for you, and your ginger is going to carry a certain amount of spice to add to this. So I'll bring you back once this is all cooked up. Be right back. Okay, now we're back and all my meat has browned, and there's some juices in the bottom of my pot, but that juice came from my steak. So I'm not going to pour it out. I'm just going to use it as added seasonings. So what I'm going to do now is to go ahead and put in my gravy mixture. That's my liquids. To that, I'm going to add my onions. Give that a little bit of a stir. Alright, now to that, I'm going to go ahead and add my peppers. And like I told you, red peppers are better. They didn't have any red peppers, so I'm using yellow peppers. Okay. Now, I'm going to allow this to simmer on the stove. This is all you have to do. I'm going to allow this to simmer on the stove for 6 to 8 minutes. No longer than that. Because my meat is already cooked. It takes very little time for my peppers to actually saute up in the liquids that have been provided by the meats and what I poured in. So I'm going to give it about 6 to 8 minutes, and then I'll bring you back. Be right back. Okay, now I'm back and this is actually ready. But what I want to show you is just a little side trick. This is not enough gravy in here to feed my family. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it up a notch. What do I mean by that? Here I have 2 heaping tablespoons mixed into 1 cup of water of cornstarch. That's right here. And I have 1 glass of water. Now to the 1 glass of water, I'm going to add a ½ a teaspoon of salt. Why am I doing that? Because everything in this pot has already been seasoned. So now I want to season this added water that I'm adding plus the cornstarch in order to get me a little bit more gravy. Now you don't have to do that if you have enough gravy in your pot. I don't have enough in my pot. So I'm going to take the top off. And I'm going to pour in my added thickener to give me more gravy. Now I want you to see this. That may be enough gravy for your family. Okay? And I'm not saying, I'm just saying if it's not, okay? So I'm going to take it up a notch. You can stop it right here if that's enough for your family. But it's not enough for mine. So I'm going to add this cornstarch. And you see now it has really thickened up, and I'm going to add this water. Now that's salted water, so we got enough seasonings in there, along with the seasonings that we already had. And now we will have enough gravy mix. I'm going to allow this to cook roughly only 1 minute. That's all you need when you're dealing with cornstarch, is 1 minute. 2 minutes at the most. But you see now I have enough gravy in my pot in order to cover my rice when I'm ready to serve. See? And the cornstarch gave me a thicker gravy. So what's going to happen is that when this starts to boil, it's going to continue to thicken up. And I really wish I had some red peppers, but we're not going to worry about that. We're going to go with this. But see how that gravy is now thickened? Okay. So that's perfect for my rice. So I'm just waiting for my rice to get done. Once my rice get done, I will dish you up a plate. And I must tell you, this smells very, very good. No problems there. So it's ready, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So let's just go ahead and dish you up a plate. I made a pot of rice in the background. So we're We're going to put some of the rice down on the plate. And if you don't know how to make rice, then there is a recipe. I do have a recipe online for making rice. Okay, so we're going to put that down on the plate. And then I'm going to remove my top from my pepper steak. And here my pepper steak is. Now look at the gravy to this pepper steak. Okay, and I just took it up a notch. But see how creamy and thick it is? And we added seasonings, and you can, if you could smell it, it really, really smells good. And it's okay that I'm going to get a little bit of rice in there because we're going to be eating it with rice anyway. So, let's just go ahead and spread it. Now, this really came out good. Put some onions up there. This is a very fast and simple recipe, but it's a very, very good recipe. And I think that if you try it, your family is really going to enjoy it. Just cover it with some of that good gravy. Okay. Now we're done. And that's what Chris is having today. She's having pepper steak. Made it, laying it on a bed of rice. Then you have your vegetables and your steak. This is very simple but very good. Wanted to bring you something that's delicious but yet quick that I think your family is going to really, really enjoy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe at the bottom of this video. And as always, thank you for watching. Chris Cook for you too. Bye.